So we're ready to roll? Oh, so it's only 3 people on there. They have to click to come out of the waiting room. Tell me when you think the waiting room is fully. No, Rita's on. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to May's 4th Tuesday presentation. We will be starting very soon here with the presentation from the team in Nepal, and I will turn it over to Luke at that point. But I wanted to just open with a few general comments about one of the most exciting things that has been unfolding over the last 2 or 3 months, which is that the real strength of Future Generations has long been in partnerships. We have partnerships with academic institutions, we have partnerships with nonprofit organizations, with communities. And one of the most interesting sets of partnerships we have is with very distinguished and important people around the world who have on their own done truly remarkable items. And so I just wanted to share with you 3 gifts that have come to me as symbols of partnerships. And this will only take a minute or 2 to share that. The first is this huge book on the terracotta warriors from China. The only time that terracotta warriors have ever been allowed to leave China was for an exhibition that was led by the Bowers Museum in California and then was picked up by the museum in Houston. And the curator and the president of that museum was so pleased about the work that Future Generations has done with his work in Tibet, especially, which relates to the work in China, that he, when I met with him a while ago at the kindness of Johan Reinhardt on our faculty, he wanted to give me this book, and I looked up the price of the book afterwards, and it's $225. So it's a gorgeous book. For those of you who are in the office, I encourage you to look at this. I know that Chris Roper has himself actually been to the terracotta warriors, but most of us, Chris, have not had the pleasure of that. The other book that I want to share with you is this book that weighs 40 pounds. It's 3 books, and it's a really extraordinary set of books on the history of Asia that is disappearing. It's a photographic history of the Asia that is disappearing. It's called Vanishing Asia. And this set of books sells for $650. And it is the work of Kevin Kelly, who is a donor to Future Generations and was the founder of Wired Magazine, the founder of the first internet. It was called The Well. So he loves Future Generations, and this is a 50-year project that he has made, which is documenting the change in Asia. And so the next document I want to share is an extraordinary map that some of you have been in the West Virginia room here and seen this really beautiful map that's on the wall about West Virginia. Well, I was in touch with the company and congratulated them. And they said, well, who are you? They looked us up on the website. And then they said, oh, you work in Afghanistan. We're very worried about the famine in Afghanistan. And I said, well, we're actually working on the famine. And so I sent him some videos that some of you have seen about the fact. And I leave in 3 weeks to go and be with our team in Afghanistan to deal in the famine. But they make a map of Afghanistan, which is a gorgeous map. And it sells for, this map sells for $100. It's on archival paper. And they said, I said, well, this is magnificent. So when we talked about this lovely map, and I said, well, I'm headed to Afghanistan to work on the famine. They says, could we send you some copies of this map for free so that you could put them up in your office there so that the people of Afghanistan could be proud of the diversity and the remarkable geography of their wonderful country. And of course, we are mindful of the difficulties they've done. So I just wanted to say that these are all partners, people, businesses that are that, and the partnership is at the center of what Future Generations does. And I thought that China, Asia, and Afghanistan are interesting context for what we're about to talk about with Nepal. And I turn it over to you, Luke, to introduce the SDLC. Thank you.
All right, well, thanks everyone. So Shannon's getting a PowerPoint queued up, and I'm both doing a welcome and an introduction to our good friends in Nepal, Nawang and Surendra. It's very late for you all, so thank you very much for burning the midnight oil and being willing to be here with us today. So originally, as I think hopefully everybody was able to see last month's presentation, which really focused on the history of Nepal. And when we started to get into Nepal, we realized there was so much to say it needed 2 full presentations. So this is in many ways part 2 of last month's presentation. And it's really going to focus on where we are currently and how the SDLC is taking shape. And I know we've gotten a lot of questions, and so that's what we'll be doing today. So Shannon. All right, hopefully people can hear me better. There was some microphone issue. So Shannon, next slide. Fantastic. Oh, and I just heard that Dr. Rita Thapa is on the call as well. So another one of our close team members from Nepal, and welcome, Dr. Rita. I hope to hear from you a little later on in the presentation. I'm sure you'll enjoy seeing what's come together. So just a brief recap of last month. We won't go back through it all, but really what we saw is that the history with the individuals and the people go back very, very far into Nepal's history, really with the 1949 expedition. The work got really active and really the basis for a lot of what we're now doing in the Barun and work in the 1980s that Daniel led, and which also around researching the Yeti, as everybody knows, and then bringing that into what is now the Makla Barun Park. Throughout the years, we then had really throughout the 2000s, we had a little bit more distant relationship with Nepal. Obviously, Nawang has been the longest staff member of Nepal, but where there was close friendship, but Future Generations itself wasn't doing too much. Now that all changed when Daniel made a personal trip in 2010 back into some of these villages and re-engaged with the communities, and the communities really invited us to come back and welcoming this idea of creating the Yeti Trail. And out of the Yeti Trail came the Barun Bachang campaign, the Save the Barun campaign in 2018. And that community engagement has been the basis, and the Yeti Trail were really the basis for creating the Songs of Adaptation work and the community monitoring of Biomeridian. So next slide. And that really is just a recap of what we covered last for anyone, and especially for anyone who missed last month's presentation, which is recorded. So just one more slide for me, and that is just to introduce the real purpose and aim and a reminder to everyone of what this of these SDLCs and the SDLC concept. That is why we have a community engagement division at the university now. As folks will notice, we have a new iteration of the name. This idea, it started as a Sustainable Development Learning Center. That changed and we were using the term chapter. And we've now, I think in the past couple months, started to use this idea of Sustainable Development Learning Communities, because it really seems to fit both who we are at Future Generations. We're a community-centered university, but also that's really what is starting to come together here is real communities of partners, community from the seed scale definition as of groups of people working together. And so the purpose here for these SDLCs is to operationalize our shared mission with the university and Future Generations Global Network around promoting research, learning, and action to achieve inclusive and sustainable change worldwide. And to get into the seed scaled lingo, we're specifically trying to create global scale squared centers around different parts of the globe that will can serve as models for how you can effectively take good community impact, but scale it up to a much wider reach, such as a whole country in the case of Nepal, or in Appalachia, multiple states. And what we're seeing is this always is driven through action learning and experimentation. And that's very much in keeping with seed scale. And specifically, we're going to be doing this by creating these networks of action and learning that are created through partnership. We are not doing all of this work. And so what you're going to be hearing about now from Nawang and Surendra is an example of how we're engaging with a huge number of different groups across Nepal in different types of partnership, and that's really the basis for growth. And we're hoping to build out of our historic partnerships that go all the way back to 1949. So no further ado, I think Nawang, you're up next, and then Surendra will be taking it from there. So thank you all.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you very much. I would like to express my namaste for everyone. Actually, as Luke mentioned, I'm going to present a very brief and highlighted of BBRP, which is Barun Biomeridian Research Project's ongoing project activities, team members, partners, and the next step. So these are very highlight, but anyone's interested, details are available in the website. So I'm not going to tell all the details, but very highlight. So I think our statement over here is Barun BPRP is a conservation movement based on long historical. Huh? No, move to China. Can you hear me, Luke?
Yeah, we hear you great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the BPRP is a conservation movement based on a long history, involvement, and concerns of future generations to save unique biodiversity of Makalu Barun Valley, using 3 devices: monitoring and temperature, wildlife camera trapping, and bioacoustic recording sound starting from 2018. So that is started from there. I think this history has directed to success of foundation to establish Nepal SDLC. I think also we envision outcome will be beyond data collection. And you can see there's 3 devices, what I mentioned: temperature, humidity, and wildlife camera, and bioacoustic. So these are 3 devices we are using. And then down here you have 2 pictures, which a recording station we called. These monitoring stations are staged from 1160 meter to 4010 meter elevation. So that is very unique, stations we are in Nepal here. And there is 2 maps is a difference. The 9 permanent monitoring stations established in 2018 and 2019. And we are going to replacing because of some of the damaged, and adding more stations if we are able to. collect data consistently during the winter and the rainy season. So we are on that estimation for that. Okay, sorry, now next slide, please. Thank you. So these are activities here. Activities at the BBRP is 3-year or 5-year cycle project here. We have given 2 years permission. We proposed 5-year, but government give us first 2-year permission, and then we have next 3 years permission. So this cycle of 3-year or 5-year cycle project. And I think we have did legal obligation successfully. Just like shortly said, February 2018, we submitted feasibility study was done. And June 2018, we presented our field study. And January 19, 2019, 5-year proposal submitted. April 2019, approved 2-year permission. And November 2019, submitted progress report. And March 2021, final 2-year report submitted and requested renewable for the next 3 years. Due to COVID pandemic, delayed renewing project. Also, we had a problem with the data collections due to this COVID pandemic. Finally, our project was renewed in October 2021. And in addition on that, we have definitely formed coordinating committees, which was a very important community engagement, and reformed forest user groups. That is also important for our project. And also that's the important thing I would like to stress. We trained park staff, national park staff, local coordinating committee, TF staff members, buffer zone committee chairmen and others. Those are we trained on sea scale and climate change. Next slide, please. Thanks. Now I'm talking about the team here, over here. We have team members. You can see in the picture over here. I would like to express our big dhanyavad. We Nepali we say dhanyavad, thanks to all team members for their contribution, hard work, and support for the achievement of this project. The success would not have been possible without the team spirit, such diverse idea, expertise, and strong cooperation. And then you can see three pictures of Dr. Tirtha chairs our BPRP team. And also we call it the BPT, which Barun Baza also we call it. Dr. Nomi leads the USA Team Songs project. And then the first picture over here is the first meeting of the Barun Community Youth and Barun Biometric Research Project. That's the first meeting, this evidence. And then you have left side here is a joint meeting of songs adaptation, USA team and the Nepal team. So this is our team member, and I would like to thank all these team members. Without their support, is not possible. Next slide, please. So this is a partner over here. The partner is another important partner, is essential for the success of project and sustainability of project. And we try to follow the seed scale method. The three-way partnerships between the Ministry of Forest, Department of National Park and Wildlife Conservation, and Makalu Barun National Park as a top-down, we call it, and the local coordinating committee, forest user groups as a bottom-up implementer partner, and FGU and at East Foundation outside the in. So these are three evidence pictures is we have here. So if we are going this proposal plannings, approvals comes from the Central Coordinating Committee. There's a special committee there, Ministry of the Forestry and the Department, and the representative from TFE, the East Foundation, a representative from Future Generation, I do the representation here. We have that is the Central Coordinating Committee. And then you have next monitoring task force, we call it, which is the Makalu Barun National Park. The warden is chairman and FGU representative and the TF representative there. And then third committee is local coordinating committee. They are representing from different groups, user groups, ward chairman, and park, national park staff, and buffer zone, and FGU and TF. So these are three committees very important for the implementation. The next slide, please. So this is the picture over here. There's some special the species pictures. Of course, we have thousands of the pictures which are trapped in camera trap, but these are very few are we think it is very important. So there's a Himalayan black bear, general called this is 80, and red fox, and spotted lingsang, and the leopard cat, and dole, also that's a new species in Barun, and Himalayan red panda. These are very rare animals, species in Barun, and I think also in Nepal. So these are just a picture for you, but you can have our Google Drive. There's thousands of pictures, the different species. So you can look on that. Next step, please. Next slide. Okay, next step. So next step is as per the agreement with the Nepal government to do community capacity building program. We will focus on community training, awareness, engagement, and in project activities in phase 2, means in future, I think soon. And they gather further local Nepali leadership for Nepali SDLC program. Strengthen local youth leadership. This is important. I think local youth is very important now. And continuing data collection and training is important. And the more training on device maintenance, monitoring, and management. Focused on the more science and technology-based education with the seed scale method. Developing training materials for awareness and sensitization. So these are training materials, awareness building very important. So this is very brief kind of presentation. You can see details in website and we have Google Drive. So I would like to over to the Surendra.
Thank you very much. Next slide, please. Yeah. Namaste, everybody. As you see, there are 3 pillars in our Nepal SDLC program, which we call the focus of the Nepal SDLC. The first one is nature conservation. The second one is community health, and third one is sustainable livelihood. As you see that nature conservation, community health, and sustainable livelihood are very much integrated. And these are the most important issues identified by the communities during our visit in the community, recent visit, and earlier visits. And this is also the priority of FGU's long history of work in Nepal. But this is not just the end. We are also thinking about additional components like peace between human and nature, wildlife. We're also thinking about the community empowerment for just and lasting changes in the community. And we are also thinking about learning and development opportunities for the people in Nepal, as well as people in Barun Valley, which is very much related to the future generation master's courses. Thank you. Next slide, please. Well, we have already learned about the Yeti trial construction, its survey in the year 2001. This survey was conducted to find out the easy travel for local community, as well as the outside travelers. And following the progress in the year 2012, Yeti trial was constructed in partnership with local youths especially the Dukpa and the other youths in that community. And we had also partnership with National Park, and FGU and TF is there as our implementing partner. At that time, National Park supported some resources, FGU supported some resources, and the local youth contribute their labors to construct this Yeti trial. And now this Yeti trial is used by the BBRP team to collect the data and to maintain the monitoring stations. Local people also use these trials to get to the destination easily and through the shortcuts. And also the national park staffs like the rangers, and there are other security guards, they use their trials to monitor what is happening in the park area. So this is a very useful track for community, government, and for us too. But the problem is due to rainfall, landslide every year, and the rapid growing of wild bushes, we need to repair every year this trail. So this is the one of the challenges we have been we have had for last few years. Next slide, please. Okay, as you can see how the Yeti trial looks like. It is because we are very much limited to use the external tools and equipments, because the national park, they don't allow us to use the machines and to demolish or to misuse the local resources. So the people are using the local resources like the woods, timbers, and the rock over there to maintain this Yeti trial. And well, this looks very difficult, but the people are using it because there are more other difficult routes, which is more difficult than this one. So people are, the youths are repairing, maintaining these trails, and the travelers, they are using these trails. Next slide, please. Well, you can see the BBRP team, the youths working through this trial to collect and repair monitoring device. As I said, every year due to landslide, the monitoring machines is damaged by the landslide, but the youths are so dedicated, they go and collect this, try to repair. And if not, then they bring, they change the devices. So this route has been very helpful for monitoring as well as getting the data and the repair and maintenance. Next slide, please. Well, what next for this project? Well, we have a plan to repair and maintenance of Yeti Trail after the monsoon. And we will start this repair and maintenance from the September, and this time through the local coordination committee. In the earlier repair and maintenance work, we used the local youths, which was not a formal groups. They are just local volunteers. But as every year this trail is damaged, so we need a very sustainable solutions, and that solutions can be done by the formal group, and which we have identified the local coordination committee. The local coordination committee is a forest user groups, and they are very much legal bodies within this national park, and they have some resources, they have good connection with the national park, local government. So we are planning to do the repair and maintenance this time through the local coordination committee, so that in the following years, in the next years, they can do on their own with the partnership with the local government as well as the national park. And the second one is to empower the local coordination committee, because they have just begun. They were very much silent due to the COVID for last 2 years. And our recent visit over there, we empowered them, and we have identified the areas where we can help them to improve their committee as well as institutionalize their committee. And so we will be empowering them for the planning, implementation, and also help them to partnership with local government and national park for the very long-term plan, not just a 1 year, but a long-term plan, so that every year they can do this repair and maintenance on their own with the help of the government. So for this project, we have the East Foundation as our partner. We have a local coordination committee in the community. We have a local government. We have recently elected new government. So our next step is to go and meet them and develop the coordination with them and the National Park Division of Makalu Borun. And these are our partners for this project. Next slide, please. Yes, the second focus is community health, and the sharing history project is related with our community health focus. Well, we are using the sharing history project, and many of you know that sharing history project in Peru, Tibet, Afghanistan, and Arunachal. So the sharing history project in Nepal carries some basic concept, especially sharing a positive deviance, which is very important foundation for sharing history project. So this will be used as an approach, but we have a different context in Nepal. We have very good setup in the for the health sections in community, like we have health mother groups in the community, we have FCSB, and we have also identified that there is basic healthcare service in every villages. So we will use this best setup, government setup, local bodies, health departments or the bodies to implement this sharing history project. Well, the focus of this project is to empower the health mother groups to enhance the female community health volunteers by mobilizing the women groups members for promotive and preventive care. This is the #1 priority. And second one is the building capacity of mother to improve mother and child health and enact holistic social action, which means when Luke was here and we had a very good meeting with respected Dr. Rita Thapa and her team, and we have identified a number of things which need to be our concern to start this project. And one of the important thing we have identified is that the health mother group is especially for the health concerns, but they are very much into linked, or they are very much attracted into the other activities like the livelihood things, saving and credit. So we realize that this mothers group need to have the holistic social actions to empower them. So it is not just about the health, but also about the empowerment, but also about the livelihood and other social actions. So this is our second priority. And developing livelihood opportunities for better nutrition and income generation. Well, the mothers, they are very much dependent on the husband's incomes. So it is very important for mothers to help them empower economically so that they can have resources and they can make decisions to support the family. So these are the three areas where this project will be contributing. And for this project, we have already completed the initial preparation with Dr. Rita and the team, BTMF team, and also we have gotten very important opportunity to meet with the government and the Department of Family and Welfare to share our purpose and also listen to their plan to match each other's priorities. So we have completed this these preparations, and our activities will begin from July, starting from the developing training of trainer manuals, and we will continue to do other implementing activities. Next slide, please. These are the mothers groups from the Saxila village. And for this project, we have very important partners like Bhaskar Tejasri Memorial Foundation, led by respected Dr. Rita Thapa and team. The East Foundation, led by the sociologist, experienced sociologist, Khagendra Sangam. We have also had coordination with the Ministry of Health, Department of Family Welfare. They are very much interested in empowering mothers and helping the FCSB's mobilization in the community. And we have also the local government healthline agencies like health centers, basic healthcare centers, health mother groups, and FCSBs. And beside that, we have also identified one very important partner for this project, that is Agriculture Service Center. We visited them and we asked their services in the community, and they very much like to support the mothers groups by helping them growing vegetables for the nutritional requirement of the mother and child. So this is also one of the important partners we have identified for this project. The pictures you can see, we had a meeting with Ministry of Health, Department Family Welfare. Dr. Rita Thapa coordinated for this meeting, and we had very much a learning and good opportunity to learn about the government's plan. And we had a meeting at Dr. Rita Thapa's house, office, whole teams there. And we went to the TF office in Khandbari, and the last picture is a lady basic health care centers in charge. We call it Aheva. And I met her, and I had a nice discussion with her to identify the mothers and child's health issues. Next slide, please. So what is the next step for this project? Definitely, this is a very important project for us. So we will be scaling up this project next year with focus on nutritional security of mother and child and income generation livelihood opportunities to especially the marginalized mother's family in the next year at the same village. This is our plan. So we'll scale up the health into the livelihood. And beside that, during our 3 days workshop in Nepal, we have identified the opportunity to expand this project across Nepal, especially in 3 regions. The first one is high mountain region, Borun and surrounding villages. The second one is hill region and mid mountains, and third one is Tarai. So we are thinking about expansion of this project in these 3 regions of Nepal. Next slide, please. Well, this is the nature conservation project, which also contribute for the livelihood. We call it Building Community Capacity to Protect the Heart of Himalayas project, supported by Japanese Foundation. And this project aims to enhance the awareness, knowledge, and capacity of community living in buffer zone to protect unique biodiversity of Makalu Borun National Park. And there are these are the 5 major focus of the project. The first one is awareness and sensitization about conservation. And the second one is sustainable commercial farming training. Well, that means it means that the community over in that area is very much depend on the traditional farming, which need lots of investments, labor investments, and even the financial investment, but the return is very low, which is not sufficient to cover their food security. So we are thinking about introducing some vegetable farmings, which can be off-seasonal, seasonal, and also the commercial crop farming, so that they can have additional income for the family with less labor investment and financial investment. And third one is sustainable forest product harvesting training. There are 2 forests. One is national park forest, and the other one is community protected forest. So as the practice, they do practice harvesting the forest product without thinking about the future. So we will be organizing training to help them to learn about how to harvest the forest product in a very sustainable way, so that it won't be vanish or disappear for to their next generations. And then fourth one is animal husbandry training. Well, this is very much important because most of the community over there is dependent on this. They have a high nature dependency. So if we can introduce animal husbandry like the goat farming, and then piggery is very popular over there, and poultry farming, then we can minimize this forest or nature dependency to conserve the nature. And the 5th one is protecting vulnerable and threatened wildlife. As Nawang just saw us the pictures of the very rare endangered animals captured in the camera. So these are very important animals for the biodiversity ecosystem and for the uniqueness of this area. So we will help the community to identify these animals and help them to learn how to protect these wildlife. And Hari is developing the training manuals for this. And beside this, we will be developing training manuals for the other trainings. And definitely we have very experts in our team, and even in the community, we will be working together with them for the training preparations. Next slide, please. So this is the for this project, we have partners like the East Foundation, which is our implementing partner. We have local coordination committee also for this project. We have forest user groups, special groups, and we have rural municipality, which is local government. We have government line agencies like National Park, Agricultural Service Center, Animal Husbandry Service Center. And we also have partners with the technical experts. BBTF have the technical experts, and even the Khagendra's team have a technical experts, and there are lots of other technical experts who can help us to make a very good training materials and then to train this community. And so far for this project, we have already completed meeting with local coordination committee. You can see the pictures. We had meeting with them. And then we also had meeting with the community for the planning and prioritization. It was after that visit was after 2 years interval. So we re-energized them, and we helped them to refine the priorities of the community. And we also had an opportunity to interaction with the local government line agencies. The pictures you can see, this is the LCC committee members representing all 3 forest user groups from 5 villages. And we had this, the picture, the lady is a treasurer, and I had discussion with her about the women's issues, conservation issues, livelihood issues. And then we also share them about our projects, what we are thinking about, and matching their priorities. Next slide, please. So what is the next step for this project? We will develop awareness and sensitization, information, education, and communication materials, which we call IEC, which is training materials, and in consultation with the technical experts in our team, and also with the help from the outside experts. And we will be strengthening the coordination and legalization of the project from local government authorities. This is the new project, so we need to coordinate with the new local government now to implement the project. This is our next step. And this project will be started from the beginning of the August. And we are also thinking about extension and expansion of this project in the neighboring villages. Next slide, please. So this is about our partners. We have so important partners for a long time. And existing partners, we have Bhaskar Tejasri Memorial Foundation, which is led by respected Dr. Thapa. And as you all know, that she's not just the partner, but she's a very special member of Future Generation for a long time, from the time period of Dr. Carl Taylor, Daniel Taylor, and to the Luke Taylors now. So she's more than the partner. She's our guidance for sharing history and the health issues and the community health issues. And and she's also helping us to develop the community health activities and expanding it in new areas and exploring the health, exploring this to help the mother and child in many ways in different parts of Nepal. And we have existing partners, the East Foundation, and East Foundation is the only partner that we have to implement all our projects in the Borun Valley area. And for the future partners, there are a lot more, but right now we have 3 in our mind. The first one is Share and Care Nepal, and Share and Care Nepal is led by Ramesh Khadka, who is the executive director of Share and Care Nepal. And Ramesh Khadka is not just a partner, but he's a very long time friend, family members. And he was also the FGU staff for Arunachal Pradesh and helped the Share and Care in many ways. And SN, and we Share and Care and Future Generation had a partnership agreement in the year 2017 for learning and sharing, for sharing and learning together. As a result, we supported each other for learning and growing together. They hosted us when we have a master student resident program, and we also help them to support the VIM for the training. So we had a very good partnership from long time. And the other important member you can see in the picture is VIM. And VIM is a very hardworking student, a Future Generation Master's course. And he's also very popular students among the colleagues, among the co-students, as well as among the professors. And Bhim is now leading the Share and Care. So we are, and Share and Care Nepal is the organization who has implemented the seed scale approach in different part of Nepal. So we are expecting the partnership, formal partnership with them for the new projects in the future. And WWF Worldwide Fund is also our future partners, potential future partners. And Dr. Daniel and Nawang has very good relationship with WWF. And Ghanashyam Gurung, who is executive director of WWF, is very much interested in partnership with Future Generation for nature conservation program in Nepal. And Luke also had an opportunity to meet him in his last visit with the Ghanashyam Gurung. So we will be working with them as a partner for the nature conservation programs in the future. And the third one is NSAP, Asian Network of Sustainable Agriculture Bioresources. And this is a high-profile organization in Nepal which works for nature conservation, social entrepreneurship, and integrated development project. And you might know that Professor Mike Recklin was the founder, executive committee members of this organization. So we had a very long relationship with them. And also NSAP hosted our Future Generation Master's Residential course when the students were in Nepal, and they took our students to their project area for the learning and sharing. And they help us in many ways. So we are expecting the partnership with them in the future for nature conservation, social entrepreneurship, and integrated development. And they're very expert in developing the training manuals for nature conservation. So we are expecting this kind of expertise from them. So this organization have a very long historical association with FGU in different events and programs. But now we are looking forward to have institutional partnership for Nepal SDLC program with them. Next slide, please. Yeah, at the end, thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Dhanyavad to Nawang and Surendra for sharing this wonderful presentation about the Nepal SDLC. And I'm going to open it up here just to for questions and comments. First, we will go internationally from the international people who have joined. A number are in the on the line waiting. I just want to highlight that this SDLC concept, of course, has its long roots, but it has the three pillars that Surendra mentioned in nature conservation, and specifically there was the Biomeridian project that that was summarized, and then there's the health project that has its long roots in both in the Nepal work of Vita Tapa and also in the other pilot projects that were done in Arunachal and Afghanistan and in Peru by Future Generations. And I do know that in the waiting room and listening are couple members from our Afghan team who were part of that project in Afghanistan. And then very importantly, there's the third leg of livelihood. Livelihood is an increasingly challenging issue now in this world that we're entering with the pandemic, with political dysfunction, with economic and climate change. So I'm very excited about the integration of services that has been presented here. And I think before we turn it to the group, Dr. Tapa has raised her hand. And so Rita, we will turn it to you to make your comment. So wonderful, Rita, to have you on. Please unmute your mic, please.
Hi. Thank you so much. Can I speak now?
Please, please.
Okay, thank you all. Nice to see you, Daniel. And you're looking good. And Nawang ji and Surendra, you know, I really enjoyed. I stayed late night. It's my past bedtime, but you know, I wanted to hear all about this project. I feel more educated today, and thank you so much. And I think you have covered, you know, you have told, I mean, I learned today the entire history, and I'm so happy to learn about our partnership, you know, with the local government is maturing, and they are taking responsibility. And with this new election, the kind of leadership we have, I think is very encouraging. And so, you know, I'm looking forward to work together with this wonderful team soon in July. Luke, I love that puppy. Is that a puppy or adult? It's beautiful.
That's Luke's dog, Rita.
Okay, Luke. That's your baby, right? Yeah, that's good. So with these words, you know, I will stop here, and please allow me to go to bed now. So
Well, thank you
Thank you,
so
Dr.
much,
Shah.
Rita. Thank you very much for all your
thank you.
contributions.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And I next want to turn it to Ajmal Shirzai from Afghanistan. And Shirzai, thank you very much for the leadership that has come from Afghanistan, especially with the health work. But over to you for your question, Ajmal.
Thank you very much, Daniel. I hope that I will host you in the next few weeks in Afghanistan. I'm really pleased by hearing of these nice presentations. I think I found there is a lot of innovations, a lot of diffusion of these type of innovations. And really, I congratulate Nawang and his team and the leaderships. Thank you very much. Regarding the application of seed skill, my comment is here, whenever we are asking our colleagues to know whether they have applied seed skill in their program or not, but they are just talking about three-way partnerships. Actually, three-way partnership will be coming automatically if we can implement any kind of a project, because we have to go to the government in order to get the permissions. Though government might not provide fund for that project, we have to go to community in order to talk with them, in order to involve them in the projects, and we are outside in. But the seed skill is very much broad compared to just talking about three-way partnerships, because the end result of the seed skill, we are talking about behavior change. I hope that whenever we are talking about any kind of a presentation, we should talk about the end result, not about only the process. And the second thing is, seed skill is, for example, talking about 7 tasks. We would like to know how the program implemented the 7 tasks, whether some task was quite important, some task might not be important, and there might be some new task for the seed skill. And we have to have this type of information in order to think about enrichment of the seed skill I'm sure, because we seed skills should not remain only on the 7 tasks. It should be 9 tasks. It should be 10 tasks, because everything is changing. Climate change. You can see different type of challenges the world right now is facing. The last thing is, whenever we are trying to implement these kind of projects, we are completely ignoring the 5 evaluation criteria. If we can do not do these evaluations of the programs, I'm sure we will not create such kind of a strong evidence in order to present to the donor community, in order to defend our approaches. So my question is, have you applied these 5 evaluation criteria in your program in order to see which type of behavior change generated from this approach? Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, Serzaji. It's just excellent inputs, and I totally agree with that what you are mentioning. And I agree with you that all the 7 tasks and 6 criteria and all these 3-way partnership. Definitely here in Nepal, which we are presenting now, is very much state. We are trying to start with very literate or illiterate communities in our project area. So we are starting from seed, not the scale yet. So we are talking about the seed. So self-evaluation, effective decision-making. So whatever they are doing, we are trying to teach them what first you have to evaluate yourself, what you are doing is correctly or you are wrong. So that is how we are starting. So seed is our starting point over here. So definitely we will follow the scales later on that. And this is in principle, we are talking about the high level. Actually, I would say we have 3 stages. One is basic seed concept. And the second is how do you follow this, our method. Third is exactly what you are talking about that. So I think in Nepal here, we are just starting. Arunachal in Tibet, we did, more than here, but here is very starting point. So we will doing starting point and we will follow those steps in later on.
Thank you very much, Nawang, and thank you very much, Shirza Saab. I want to give the opportunity for somebody else who has a comment or a question, please, either from the international team or here in the room, if you would like. We have time, I think, for 1 question before the end of the hour. So hearing none, I'm going to turn it over to Luke to make a wrap-up comment, and I would deep appreciation to the whole team, Nawang, to Surendra. I see that I think Hari's on. I want to thank you, Hari, but Luke, over to you.
Well, thanks. And I just also wanted to quickly respond. It was a lot of fun to hear from Shirzai and Nawang and talking, really talking about how we're trying to apply seed scale. And this has been a rather interesting project, at least for me, Shirzai, especially in response to your question, because at least its current kind of manifestation really started with monitoring, right? So normally we start with action and then we go and we try to monitor that action. But in this particular case, there's been this environmental monitoring that's been going on very actively. So really looking at sustainability. And I think one of the interesting things for us now is how do we start to bring some of the other criteria to the forefront in response to what we're hearing from the community, because the community is saying, great, we want to, monitor and have a healthy jungle, but we also want to have good livelihoods, or we want our children to be healthy. And so this is where we're starting to see, even in the response from the community, a need to be addressing more than just the sustainable biodiversity here, which is also very much a priority. So once again, thank you everybody for taking the time. Most of all, thank you for our international colleagues, Nawang and Surendra, Dr. Rita, Shirzai, everyone I know. For some of you, it's very late. And hopefully from this, you've all been able to get a snapshot into what is going on with the Nepal SDLC. This was really in response to a lot of questions that we've been getting from a lot of folks, and really wanting people saying, you know, I'm asked quite often, what is going on with your work in Nepal, or what is going on? And so that's really a chance here for these meetings is both a chance to celebrate our successes together, but also to inform one another. And so I look forward to seeing you all next month, I think, where we have a slightly different tone. And some of you I may see actually next month in person, which will be exciting as well. So.
Congratulations, and thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
And Shirzai, I will see you in Kabul here in 3 weeks.
Thank you very
Forward to
much.
meeting with
I
you.
will be waiting to see you.